The service that an accountant offers to your client is very different from the service a financial advisor offers to your client, which is very different from the service that a mortgage broker will offer to your client. And part of the problem sometimes is that the client doesn't know what to expect from their accountant and what not to expect. The client doesn't know what to expect from their financial advisor and what not to expect. And they don't know what to expect from their mortgage broker and what not to expect. So sometimes that can mean that the client is doing their estate planning. And when I say estate planning, I just mean it in its broadest sense in terms of they're making decisions about their finances, they're making decisions about their future, their family, their business, their assets, and they don't know what they should be getting their financial advisor to do or what they should be getting their accountant to do, what they should be getting a solicitor to do. And they don't know what those professionals can't advise them on. So it's like if you can have a team of professionals around you and you can get good advice from them and all of the value that that advice can bring you, it's going to have a significant impact. If you don't know what those people do and you don't know what they could be doing for you that they're maybe not doing for you, then you're losing out on potentially a lot of that value. So, um, and I think partly this is a feeling on behalf of the client because they're not going out looking for what can be done. And partly this is a feeling on behalf of the professional because they're not actually promoting themselves that well in terms of the value that they can bring to a client in that sort of lifetime relationship that they can actually have with a client. Um, they're not telling the client the options, they're not telling the client problems they may have that they can solve or opportunities that they actually have available to them that they can take advantage of, which means that people don't get that value. Um, so in terms of working with financial advisors, just as an example, so a financial advisor offers financial advice. What that means is they'll tell you how to invest your pension. They'll tell you how to invest your capital. They might put insurance in place for you. These are the sort of the products, if you like, that financial advisors work with. Um, Now, since RDR came in, financial services has become much more regulated. It's become much more relationship based. It's become much more fee based. And the encouragement is that you have better qualified financial advisors who are incentivized to build a relationship with a client and to help the client manage their lifetime worth of financial decisions. Um, that's the relationship that a client should have or should seek to have with a financial advisor. And that's the relationship that a financial advisor should seek to have with a client. Now, in that, you're going to have some pensions because when you're earning money, you need to be saving money for when you retire and you're no longer earning money. And the financial advisor can help you in terms of where should you invest those pensions. Um, but there are also key decisions in terms of when should you be taking out a pension, how much should you be putting in. Um, People in different circumstances will work with pensions in different ways. What should the pension be invested in? Do you want something you can manage, like a self managed pension, like a SIP or a SAS, where you might be able to invest in commercial property? Or do you want something which is through work? Do you want something which is personal in terms of being able to make your income more tax efficient? There's lots of different ways that people will interact with their pension, and financial advisors' job is to help people to actually understand strategically how to use these financial products throughout their lifetime to get the most benefit from them. It's very different from what an accountant does. So an accountant does your tax returns. People will often think of their accountant as their main professional, their main professional advisor, maybe their main business advisor, because the accountant does the tax returns for their business. Um, but most accountants on a day-to-day basis, the training that they have, the culture that they have been brought up in at work, they know how to do tax returns, they know how to do VAT returns, they know how to do payroll. These are very specific accounts-based services that they provide. Got nothing to do with business advice and how you invest in your business, how you grow your business, and how you get benefit from your business over time. mortgage brokers, so mortgages tend to be a specialist area within financial advice. Obviously, it's about raising money. Mortgages can be a good debt. So if you have an investment portfolio, you might have £3 million worth of debt. However, if you have £6 million worth of property and it's producing a really good income that covers that debt and puts money in your pocket, that's a really good debt to have. So working with a mortgage broker, again, in for your home, for investment property, for commercial property, for development, for the whole range of services that a mortgage broker can bring you, understanding what's available, understanding the appropriate types of finance that you can get and how they can project you forward in your business, project you forward in property development, in property investment. Just understanding what's actually available can make a huge difference to you throughout your lifetime. Getting the right finance in place for the thing that you're trying to do, or just being able to leverage finance for what you're trying to do, can really project you forward on that journey. So if you have a good relationship with these professionals and you understand what they do and what they don't do, um, then you can get a lot of value from what they have to offer. Problem is that most people don't know what they do and they don't know what they don't do. So as estate planners, often we will be looking at a client's circumstances. And because we look at the long-term view, it's all about what you're building throughout your lifetime and what you're then being able to pass on from generation to generation. So we're looking at the really long-term view, and we'll look at your circumstances. We'll want to get an understanding for what everything looks like, sort of having the sort of the helicopter view of what your whole circumstance looks like. And then we'll be able to identify, well, actually, these are things that you could be doing with your mortgage broker that you're not doing. These are things you could be doing with your financial advisor that you're not doing. These are things that you could be doing um, beyond the submitting your accounts every year. These are things you could be doing for maybe from a tax perspective with your accountant that you're not taking advantage of. Um, and I think that's perhaps the biggest benefit that we can bring because we understand what all the professionals do, what's available to you as a client, and how you can actually take advantage of those services to have a much bigger impact on your circumstances as they are today.